Sometimes the stress isn't about not having enough money. It's about never feeling settled, even when everything looks fine on paper. From the outside, life seems okay, but inside, there's this constant tension you can't quite explain. I notice this stress shows up in quiet moments, when everyone else looks relaxed, scrolling their phone or laughing, and I'm sitting there feeling oddly tense. Nothing is wrong, but my mind won't let me rest. And some days, I honestly wonder if anyone else feels this way about money. If other smart, responsible people carry this same quiet weight around. Or if I'm the only one who can't fully relax when it comes to finances. Have you ever felt guilty for being stressed about money, even when you know other people have it worse than you? That quiet guilt makes you wonder if your stress is valid or if you should just be grateful and move on. But unspoken money stress has a way of lingering, no matter how logical we try to be. I'm Bella, and this is Money Talk with Bella. This space exists because money is never just numbers on a screen. It's tied to our identity, our relationships, and the pressure we carry quietly every day. Here, we don't rush to fix our money problems. We slow down and notice what money brings up inside us. If you're drawn to calm, clarity-based growth, you're in the right place. Today, we're sitting with the kind of money stress people rarely say out loud, so stay with me until the end. There's this quiet pressure to feel grateful once you're earning, saving, or just getting by. Like once you hit a certain number, stress is supposed to disappear automatically. And when it doesn't, you start wondering if something is wrong with you. Talking about money stress can feel uncomfortable, especially when your life looks fine from the outside. You're not broke, you're not failing, so it feels like you don't have the right to struggle. That silence makes the stress even heavier. So this kind of stress stays hidden. It's not dramatic enough to talk about, but it's heavy enough to follow you everywhere. And over time, it quietly shapes how you think, decide, and live. I remember times when my bank account looked fine on paper, but my chest still felt tight. It was like stability existed numbers-wise, but emotionally, I was bracing for something to break. I caught myself minimizing my stress, telling myself I shouldn't feel this way because others have it worse. That quiet guilt made the stress heavier instead of smaller. Sometimes it wasn't about the bills at all. It was the weight of responsibility, the quiet fear that one wrong move could mess everything up. There were nights I wasn't panicking exactly, just lying awake, tense, waiting for a problem that hadn't shown up yet, but felt inevitable somehow. I think a lot of us quietly tie money to safety, to adulthood, to being someone who has their life together. Somewhere along the way, money stopped being just a tool and started feeling like proof of who we are. And that belief settles deep, especially for people trying to invest and plan responsibly. When money feels uncertain, it doesn't just affect our plans or spreadsheets. It quietly shakes how we see ourselves, our competence, our sense of control. For many investors, that self-doubt hurts more than the market losses ever could. That kind of stress doesn't mean we're failing or falling behind. It means we're human, carrying invisible weight while trying to make smart, long-term decisions. And acknowledging that weight is often the first real step toward calmer investing. Let me ask you something honestly. Is the stress really about the numbers in your account, or about what those numbers make you think about yourself? For many investors in the US, money quietly turns into a scorecard of competence, success, and self-worth. And that pressure can feel heavier than any bill. If money stress had a voice, it wouldn't shout. It would whisper all day long that you're behind, that you should be doing more, that one mistake could erase everything. That constant mental noise is what quietly drains your energy and focus. And when you picture finally feeling financially enough, notice it's not a number. It's a feeling of calm, of breathing easier, of not questioning your worth every time you spend or invest. That feeling, not perfection, is what most of us are actually chasing. You don't have to answer those questions right now. There's no pressure to figure anything out, no need to explain yourself to anyone. Just let the questions sit, exactly as they are, without judging what came up. Just notice what shifted inside you when you heard them. Maybe your body reacted before your mind did, or maybe a quiet thought surfaced. Awareness alone is enough for this moment. We can sit here together for a moment. No fixing, no planning, no clarity required yet. Just a quiet pause where you're allowed to be exactly where you are. Maybe this conversation doesn't need a takeaway, just a little honesty about how money really feels. If any part of this sounded familiar, I want you to know you're not alone in it. If this video resonated, you can like it and subscribe for clarity-based growth around money and life. And if someone you care about might need this quiet conversation, feel free to share it with them. And if you want, tell me in the comments what kind of money stress you rarely talk about out loud. This is Money Talk with Bella, because money is never just money, and I'm really glad you stayed.